The date that could change everything for the Philadelphia Eagles arrives in less than 48 hours. My friend, and most Eagles fans know it exists, know it is important, but do not know exactly why it matters so much or what happens from a financial standpoint if the trade happens before or after it. The difference between the two scenarios is not small. It is a $27 million difference that can determine whether the Eagles are able to execute the contract extensions that define the defensive future of this franchise, or whether they spend the next 2 years managing a cap impact that complicates everything at the same time. In this video, I am going to explain exactly how the June 1st financial mechanism works, why the rule for trades is different from the rule for player releases, and what Thomas Peterson revealed about the minimum floor that Roseman is willing to accept for the most important receiver of this offseason. If you are a true Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because understanding these numbers is what separates the fan who is just following the headline from the fan who truly understands what is at stake. The speculation surrounding the most physically dominant wide receiver on the Philadelphia Eagles has dominated the entire offseason. Weeks of rumors, multiple teams mentioned as potential destinations, one insider after another describing the trade as imminent. And now, with the most important date in this entire process arriving in 2 days, the question the entire NFL is asking is the same one. Why does this specific date, this single day on the calendar, change the behavior of two franchises and delay an agreement that everyone already considers inevitable? That receiver is A.J. Brown. The answer lies in the salary cap numbers, and it is simpler than it appears once you understand the mechanics behind it. When A.J. Brown signed his contract extension with the Eagles in 2024, the agreement included a significant amount of money in the form of bonus payments. According to available salary cap data, the Eagles still have more than $43 million in bonus proration tied to Brown's contract. If Philadelphia processes the trade before June 1st, all of that $43 million accelerates immediately onto the 2026 salary cap as dead money. In a single season. In a single financial blow that removes virtually all of the maneuvering room Roseman calculated for the Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean extensions. But if that same trade is processed after June 1st, the mechanism changes completely. The NFL allows teams to spread that dead money across 2 seasons instead of absorbing all of it at once. Approximately $16 million goes against the 2026 cap. The remaining $27 million goes against the 2027 cap. The total financial impact is identical. The difference is the timing and what that timing means for Philadelphia's roster-building capacity in real time. That is the reason no trade has happened yet, and that is the reason the entire market was treating June 1st as an automatic trigger for closing a deal. Roseman knew from the beginning that this was the deadline. The negotiations with the New England Patriots have been conducted with that calendar in mind, and Brown's absence from this week's OTAs, which happened at the exact moment the financial window was about to open, was the clearest signal yet that both sides are waiting for that date to turn before putting any agreement on paper. But there is a technical detail that every Eagles fan needs to understand clearly, because it is what differentiates this situation from any simple roster cut a team might make during the offseason. NFL teams have the ability to designate certain cuts as post-June 1st transactions before that date even arrives. You can announce the release of a player before June 1st and specify that it will be processed after the date, receiving the financial benefits without needing to wait for the calendar to turn. That flexibility does not exist for trades. For the Eagles to receive the post-June 1st financial benefits, the A.J. Brown trade must be physically processed after that date. The deal itself needs to happen after June 1st. There is no advance designation. There is no early announcement with a delayed processing date. The trade happens after the date, or the financial benefit does not exist. That technicality is what prevented any public announcement of an agreement during the weeks leading up to the deadline. Even if the Eagles and Patriots had already reached an understanding on the trade value and the general terms of the deal, formalizing anything before June 1st would cost Philadelphia $27 million in additional cap space. No rational general manager pays that unnecessary cost when the solution is simply to wait 2 or 3 days. Analyst Thomas Peterson added an important layer to this conversation by comparing the Brown trade to a recent precedent that defines the floor of what Roseman will accept in any negotiation. The Dolphins received a first-round pick and a third-round pick for the Jalen Waddle trade. Peterson was direct. Howie Roseman is not going to accept looking like a loser and settle for less than a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. And he is right. This was never about getting rid of A.J. Brown at any cost. This was always about maximizing the return for one of the best receivers in professional football, while the market still pays the maximum price for him. The words Jalen Hurts used at this week's OTAs when speaking about Brown were chosen carefully but communicated enough. Nothing can replace all the greatness we achieved together. That is the language of a quarterback who has already processed that the separation is coming and who is trying to describe what was, not what is or what will be. Many around the league interpreted that phrase as an implicit confirmation that change is on the way. On the Patriots' side, the interest remains real and documented. New England has significant cap space available and is actively seeking weapons to support Drake May's development in a season that could determine whether the Patriots are a genuine title contender or simply a team still in development. Brown solves New England's biggest offensive problem in a way that no other receiver available on the market can replicate. And with June 1st arriving, the window to close this deal under the most financially favorable conditions for both sides is open for the first time in this entire offseason. Other teams continue to be mentioned behind the scenes. The Rams were reportedly close before June 1st according to insider reports. The Jaguars appear in fit analyses. The Chiefs were mentioned in the initial conversations but confirmed a lack of active interest. But none of those teams have demonstrated the same level of consistent and documented interest that the Patriots have shown throughout the entire process. What June 1st removes is the biggest financial obstacle that was preventing the agreement from being formalized. It does not remove the compensation gap between what the Eagles are asking for and what the Patriots are willing to pay. It does not remove the complexity of structuring a return package that satisfies Roseman without emptying New England's draft capital. But it removes the $27 million cost that made any deal processed before that date financially damaging for Philadelphia, regardless of the value of the return received. With June 1st arriving in less than 48 hours, the financial window about to open, and Howie Roseman with a first-round pick established as the minimum acceptable floor for the best receiver this franchise has ever had, the next week is going to be the most important of this entire offseason for the Eagles. Does the trade happen right after June 1st the way everyone expects? Or does the negotiation drag into July with A.J. Brown technically on the roster during training camp? Leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles news.